Okay, everybody. Yesterday, which was Monday, I took out my brand new to me Bliss Tool V3 to the wildlife area, and I didn't do too bad. Well, I want another detector, and this one is interesting. This is a, what's it called? Scan-Trac Tesla 1000. It's made in Russia. It's basically a not so compact Deus type wireless detector. It runs off of an Android application, off of a I would say a cheap knockoff Samsung smartphone, because you can put SIM chip in there and use it to call. The coil is handmade, it looks like, obviously, which I'll show you pictures after this hunt when I do a tear down on it. But this will be the first time I ever take it out, and we'll see what happens. I'm at Ball Bearing Park. I'm going to hit the tot lot area, the sandbox, and I'll go out to where the ball bearings are at and see if we can find some of those with this machine. I want to give an honest opinion on it because there's not much information out there on this machine. There's like maybe 2 or 3 YouTube videos, and all the forums that are English speaking, nobody's ever touched one. So they talk about, hey, it looks like the coil was a piece of plywood cut out with a jigsaw, and yeah, it does look like that. I'll be honest with you, but Russian technology is usually a little zany and a little clunky, but it's usually very good. It's serviceable, and that's been the Russian credo on building stuff. I mean, look at their aircraft during the Cold War versus ours. Ours were, I mean, you could call ours sleek and all that kind of stuff. Theirs, not so much. It was almost like propelling a brick with a motor. But they were rugged as all can be, and they performed very well, and they were a really big threat. So we'll see if some of that, those engineering ideas and technology have trickled down into the realm of the metal detector. I mean, their parent company, which is, I can't even pronounce the name, it starts with an F, they have a metal detector that's made out of lengths of PVC pipe. Now, it looks funny, but you know what? It probably works really good. I think it's supposed to be for gold, which when you think about it, PVC pipe, pretty durable, waterproof, and it's simple, so it just makes a noise. So we'll see what happens. This thing's supposed to be able to, it's already or auto ground balances, and it's supposed to have 3 levels of discrimination, which I couldn't make out in the instructions because they're all in Russian, and I used Google Translate, and it was like telling me how to make, I don't know, grilled cheese sandwiches out of tomatoes and Saturn. If anybody's ever used Google Translate, sometimes you get those answers. But there's one button on the touch screen that you press that cycles through 3 different types of discriminations, and one is all metal, the other one is ferrous and something else. I have no idea. So I did email the company, and hopefully they will send me an English copy of their manual, because they do have an English copy. Just the one I got, all in Russian. So we'll see if it's Niet, Das Vidanya, and all that stuff with this detector, or hey, thumbs up for Matt. After this and maybe a couple more hunts, because I'm not going to rule it out. Because this hunt, I'm pretty much an idiot when it comes to it. But I'm going to keep using it throughout. I'm going to keep this one primarily for parks. I don't think I want to use it in the wildland area just because of the sensitive nature of the control panel. It's a smartphone. I don't even like getting my smartphone out to take pictures when I'm out there because it's so dirty. So we'll stick to parks with it, and I'll be doing a video when I get back to the house of the construction and how I feel about it, especially after I've hunted with it for about an hour or so. So that way I can also tell you about battery life. Yeah. If you've had an Android smartphone, should be interesting. Okay, so without any more ado, I've been talking for 5.5 minutes. Let's get to the hunt. Okay, one of my observations so far. You see that down there? That's a foil. That's what I'm dealing with. That's not coming up. Now I get near the playground, and I get some sort of line. So then I change this because it's supposed to do a different discrimination. No coil. I'm on top of it. I'm all over it. I go over here. So far I haven't found anything, but I've seen the foil, and now it's going off because it's sitting on the ground. So I don't know if it's supposed to do that. It's just doing what it wants to do right now. I don't know. We'll play with it some more. Okay, so swinging right over here, and it just started going crazy. Well, I figured it was those legs. So I run the pinpointer through, and it was still going crazy where my foot is, and that's 2 feet away. Well, I found this little button over there. So I took it, tossed it on the ground over on this side. So there's our button. Ran the detector over it, and this is what I get. Nothing. So I go over here. Okay, I'm finding metal again. Nothing. I hit it on there, and now it's finally. I have to almost be right on top of it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to recommend this one to anybody. Well, but that'll be to be figured out when I ever get some English instructions. So I'll keep looking around. Hopefully I find a coin and see how it does there. Okay, so for an hour I've hunted that sandbox, that playground, and that one. I visibly went over coil. It did not pick up on it. And the only thing that I found, which was with my pinpointer, was the top of the button. So, yeah, I'm gonna go home. We're gonna do build quality and all that kind of stuff. Parks and Rec just showed up. They're gonna start mowing grass, and it looks like they're fixing some concrete. So, it's a good time for me to leave. I'll catch you at the house. We'll go over the build quality on this thing. I don't know why, but we will. All right, so initial impressions. I'm pretty sure I was using it correctly. I cycled through all what settings I had, and really the only thing I was picking up was the picnic tables, which are made of steel, and the playground equipment, which is made from aluminized steel. I know this picnic ground area to be littered with pull tabs, foil, nails, you name it, all kinds of garbage, and I wasn't finding any of that. I'm gonna have to say no, but we'll go over the build quality and everything. I mean, it's a great concept. If they could make a device like this that would work really good. It could be that this one's a bummer unit. I don't know. But I mean, even air tests at the house, large copper coin like a King George penny, it was picking it up in the air at about 8 inches. And that was moving very slow. My Deus will pick that up at about 10 to 15. I won't even go into the excuse me, bliss tool. But even my old Mine Lab would pick that up about 10 inches. So, I don't know. Anyhow, let's see what happens. we'll go home, go over the build quality, and give you a nice video. We'll end it over there. First of all, we'll go with the coil. Let me take this off here. I'll show you how this thing goes together. I'm hoping this camera's working. Probably the lightest room I have in the house. So, alright, so this is what you got. You got a coil, which I will take a close-up with my other camera now. This coil here. And as you can see, it's pretty roughly formed. You can see markings in it whatsoever. The stanchions here aren't even. This is the control box for the coil. It's got an on and off switch. Forward is on, back is off. There's all the information, who makes it. Fragma Industries. It's waterproof. There's a gasket in here. This holds a 9-volt battery, and that's what powers the coil. Now, unlike other coils on most detectors where you have a friction disc made of rubber, this has a cog setup. Now, so far this seems very durable. I don't think it would ever break, but I think they would have done better if they came up with a different mount and used a friction setup, because once this is in one position, it does not move. And you have to go through a lot of work to get it to change. So on this end here, you have a matching cog, lines up, and you got to find the exact spot you want it to be. I know some of us like our coils a little loose, so when we lay down our stuff, the coil lays down flat. This one won't do that. Alright, all the poles, this is all steel. This lower portion, I don't know, they put a piece of heat shrink over it. But that could be more of this material and then steel up there, for all I know. It's held onto the coil with a steel wing nut, which may be bringing some interference to the coil, I'm not sure. The handle here is all steel. Instead of being the internal, where you press down on something, it slides in and out, you have these plastic and steel Jubilee clips. There's probably a spring steel piece inside it. Not a bad idea, but it seems like it's a bit wobbly to me. The armrest adjusts the same way with a Jubilee clip. You got 3 levels of adjustment. I put it out all the way for me. The handle, it's comfortable. It's pretty durable. I don't think it would ever break, but the way the phone mounts in here, which I'll show you in a second, it's not that ergonomic to change anything on there. Of course, there's your bit of Russian zaniness. They put a warrior head on it. And that's the mount for an off-the-shelf cell phone holder. Alright, one second. Okay, so talking about a cell phone. That's what you have for a control box. It's an Android-based cell phone. In fact, find the stupid little button to release it here. I don't want to break it. I'm actually scared to break it because this is a Chinese knockoff of a Samsung. When you turn it on, you gotta press and hold just like a Samsung. This is all plastic, so gotta be careful. You get the Android splash screen. And it's thinking about it. We'll throw it up there for now. Oh, there it goes. Bolt! Whatever that means. I'm thinking it's the Russian company that puts these out. Don't know. I'm pretty sure they bought them in bulk and got, like, a gross of them for $10. Unlock it. I didn't want the camera. Unfortunately, yeah. I've been having that too, by the way. While I was hunting, here's the program Scan-Trac. That's the app for it. Hey look, unfortunately it has stopped. Let's try it again. There we go. That's our control panel. Pull it up close to us here. This top here is threshold. This is sensitivity. From what I can understand, if we can keep it going, from what I can understand, that's ground balance. Put this thing down here. Need both hands. Now you can see why I'm not really hip on this thing. This happened during the hunt a lot. The little gear, of course, is settings. That's volume. That, I'm thinking, is your discrimination. Yep, there it goes again. See, it just keeps wanting to do it. Discrimination, and that's pinpoint. I could not get the pinpoint to work. But what we're going to do is I'm going to keep the coil off the machine like this. Hopefully we can keep the stupid thing running. And we're going to do some air tests with some gold, copper, and silver and see what happens. Alright? Alright, so I don't have a non-conductive ruler of any sort, but I have the machine on, so you can hear it. This piece of paper is 15 inches long, so you're just going to have to trust me on my estimation here. Here's what our test subjects are. We have a Standing Liberty quarter, a big old clad $1 coin, a clad $half coin, a silver 2 shilling. Sorry. This is an 1800s Korean 5 fun. It's got a high copper content. This is a bronze Korean coin from the 1600s. A silver dime. This is a brass Korean 10 won coin. And here's the ubiquitous wheat penny, so pure copper. I'm not throwing a zinc penny on here. I'm sorry. I'm over that. Also got big honking gold chain. I dug this a couple years ago. 22 karat gold. Pure gold nugget. Dug that last year. You all know that. And this is a lovely sterling silver ring with amethyst and whatnot in there. So let's go ahead and start with, oh, and this guy here. This is a coin from this metal detector's homeland from the 60s. Good old Soviet whatever. Looks like a 10 ruble or 10 kopek. That's 10 kopecks from 1961 from the USSR. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the big one. Mr. Dwight Eisenhower. Get this set up here. Alright, so we're coming to the coil. Okay, so $1 coin, 3 inches on an air test. Kennedy $half. It's about 2.5 inches. Let's go with the brass Korean coin. That's an inch. The wheat penny. Okay, the wheat penny, I have to actually come out away from the center of the coil because it's a double D. And I'm about 3/4 of an inch away. Alright, let's try the silver dime. Yeah, once again, 3/4 of an inch. Korean 5 fun. That's about 2.5 inches. The bronze holds Korean coin from the 1600s. about 2.5 inches. Alright, let's try the coin from its homeland, the 10 kopeck from 1961. Apparently it rejects money from its own homeland. That's up on the coil, see? Alright. Now they also said that you can use this for prospecting. But let's go with the silver ring first. We're going to start at 5 inches. That's about 1.25 inches. Alright, let's go with the big honking gold chain. Well, the fact that it wasn't picking up coil at the park doesn't subscribe. Just tells me it's not going to pick up gold. That's a 1/2 ounce gold nugget, by the way, and it's a 1/4 inch away. Alright, we're going to change settings. Nothing. I'm getting the same on everything. Alright, so let me flip this around. I probably died during the air tests. But hey, I'm gonna flip this around this way. But you were watching me on this camera too, I hope. I gave it a good shot. I really did. If you're not picking up, you know, a big centennial silver dollar like this, I mean, 0.6 ounces of gold, a 1/2 ounce nugget. I mean, this is big. Look at that. And this you're only getting when it's a 1/4 inch from the coil. Pretty much the Scan-Trac Tesla 1000, I'm going to have to say don't buy it. Unless you just want a curiosity from Russia. I mean, this thing rejected its own currency. I don't think having English instructions would help me make this machine perform better. Just looking at it, the coil itself is warped. That probably is having something to do with it. So the build quality on these machines, very subpar. I mean, you all know how I feel about Bounty Hunter and the quality of machines they have. Now they have some good machines, but like your basic like Pioneer and 105s and all that, buy one of those before you get this thing. This is, I didn't pay much for this. I got it on a raffle. Okay, so I'm not out too much. I have a really interesting Russian curiosity that I'll hang on the wall and say, you know, it was a great idea, great thought behind it, but the execution is just not there. It's kind of like the U.S. reconnaissance drone program. Great ideas, but the execution sucks. So, I'm sorry, Russia. On the Scan-Trac Tesla 1000, other than this really interesting dude you have on the front, I'm going to say no. Try again. I'm sure you guys can figure out something better, but really it looks like you're trying to sell a prototype, and not to be insulting, because I really don't want to be. I think you guys can do better. Okay, so give it another shot. Work on your coil some more. Get that thing ironed out. Your app itself, work on that, because you saw how many times it died on me. And that was just inside the house. Out when I was at the park, it died so many times. It was almost frustrating. But you're not going to be able to beat the Deus at this point. So give it another try. And hey, if you want me to test it out, send me one. I'll do it for free. You'll get an unbiased opinion. I really had high hopes for this. I really did. But when I got it in the mail, I was just like, what did you guys do? So, but hey, if anybody out there has any experience using one of these detectors and has no, I mean, if maybe it's just the one I have, maybe it's just faulty, which is a good possibility. I mean, it's a young company, but no, if you have any experience with these and you want to set me straight, go for it, please. But I'm not trying to make an argument or anything. This is just some dude in California, as my shirt says, trying something new. I mean, I won something on a raffle. I'm not out too much on it. So, I don't know. But now, hey, I can say I own a detector made in Russia. So I think this is probably going to be one of my longer videos. I'm sorry. Product videos and stuff tend to be kind of long. So, but I'll end it here. As it sits, don't buy one. Save your money. If you want something that's like a Deus, save your money and just get a Deus. Or find a raffle and try your luck and win one. I believe this one lists on Amazon for about $450. You can get a very decent Minelab. You can get a used AT Pro. You can get all kinds of really great machines for that price. A lot of them used. But hey, used equipment's better than no equipment. But yeah, this one's going to go in the wall of shame. So, y'all take care. Good luck out there. Happy hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out. There's only been a couple of videos and they're all in Russian on this thing, and who knows, maybe they just don't work because I speak English. I don't know. So, and to my Russian viewers out there, because I know I have a couple, not insulting your guys' technology at all. I had lots of high hopes for this, but it's a disappointment. So, y'all take care. Good luck. Happy hunting. Bye for now.